Hello, everybody. My name is Mo Elias. I own a frame shop in New York called Big Apple Art Gallery and Framing. Today, we're going to talk to Gary and Marcus from Hoffman, USA, and they're having a sale, end of year sale. And I think it's a good time because some of you guys who had a good year, maybe you can take advantage of the tax savings and make an equipment purchase. Write that off. Gary, how are you?
Hey, doing well, Mo. How are you?
Good, man. Hey, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, buddy.
Thank you. Can Marcus hear us?
He can.
I'm here. Hello, everybody.
Marcus, how are you? Merry Christmas to you,
doing
too.
well, thank you. I'm behind the camera.
Behind the camera. All right, Gary, I'm going to let you do your thing. Go ahead.
Yep. Hey, first of all, good afternoon, everybody, and thanks for taking time to watch this video with us. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Gary Kaufmann. I'm normally the one doing these videos, and I've been selling the Hoffman products for over 23 years now. And like Mo just said, Marcus is here to help today, so he's probably the only one around that's got a little more experience. He's been doing it about 25 years. So between the two of us, we should be able to answer any questions you guys throw at us today or in the future for that matter. So I know everybody's busy this time of year, and we're going to get this thing started right away. One of the things we found since these year-end lists are so popular, you see, and we kind of talked about it and came up with the top 10 questions that picture framers usually throw at us. We're going to do this video a little bit different. And these questions are in no order. We're just going to kind of throw things out. And if you guys have anything, please chime in and Mo will let us know and we'll try to address them right away. Also, we have very detailed information on our website. Mo's going to put the link for that up. And that gives you instructional videos on from changing a bit right down to how to do it or putting certain frames together. Again, we're going to skim through a lot of stuff today. So here we go. One of the first questions we talk about is why people should have a Hoffman machine in their shop. One of the big reasons is that we feel it's one of the best add-ons you can put in your framing department. We don't necessarily say we can replace your underpinner because there's certain applications where it does its thing and does it great. I had a lady a few years ago say that the Hoffman machine is the best thing for her problem child frames, where they come in and they're tall and thin or very small, or get into angles other than 45. That's where we really excel. Now, I'm going to do a little further here with that if you are replacing or you have an underpinner that is no longer working, then the Hoffman machine can do everything an underpinner does. We just tell everybody, don't get rid of your underpinner on purpose. That's kind of the main thing we talk about there. And I've got a little cheat sheet here I'm grabbing because we wrote down all the questions that we come up with. One of the first ones is manual versus pneumatic Hoffman machine. There are certain applications where the manual is better, or the pneumatic's better, I should say. If you get into real tall frames and long frames, it allows you to keep both hands on the material. You step on the pedal, clamp comes down, router comes up. You're not going to see a quality difference between the manual and pneumatic, just ease of use and speed. And we'll go over a couple more things on that here shortly. And like I said, you can run it on a small pancake compressor. I know a lot of you guys don't have big heavy air compressors. You can run this on your smallest pancake compressor and be fine. Because I'm going to walk over to it now. The manual or pneumatic, if you cylinder on here. So when I step on the pedal, are you catching up to that, Mo?
Yes, I'm losing a little bit of sound. Are you too far from your phone? Gary, you there? Gary, I don't have any sound from you now.
Material. That is how that one works. And then we're going to walk
Gary,
over
can you hear
here
me?
to show everybody who doesn't know how the manual machine works.
Gary?
I hear you.
Gary, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me, Mo?
Yes, I can hear it through Marcus's phone. I think you stepped too far away from your own phone.
Can you hear me, Mo?
Gary, you there? Yeah, okay, I can hear you through Marcus's phone. So Marcus, stay close to Gary. I have no sound, guys.
Well, we're still here. Can you hear me?
Yes. So
Okay.
whatever Gary talked about on the other machine, we didn't get any of it.
Mo, I'll be right back with you. I'm not sure what happened here.
Your phone is disconnected, and your sound is disconnected.
Well.
Only Marcus's phone works.
Okay,
So-
well, I'm going to see if I can reach in here while Gary is pushing buttons on his phone. This is our MU3. This is the manual machine.
Yeah.
So here you would place material on the table.
Yeah.
And then as I grab this handle and pull this handle down, I press the molding on the table, and then I start raising the motor up into it.
Yeah.
You see,
should be back on now.
so I'm going to show this from the side. Here you can see the motor better. You see how that motor moves up and down when you pull on that lever. On the pneumatic machine, that movement is done with pneumatic cylinders. So you see the little orange foot pedal here in front of Gary. And then here we have what's called a short stroke cylinder that only comes down about 1/2 inch, and that's for safety, so you can't get your fingers underneath it. When you step on the foot pedal, that cylinder clamps your molding on the table, and then the second cylinder on the back moves that motor up and down. This is the cylinder here, and that moves that motor up and down in a very controlled manner. So like Gary said, the biggest advantage to the pneumatic machines is that it allows the operator to keep both hands on the material, hold it steady, and then just step on the foot pedal when you're ready to make the cut. On the manual machine, you need to let go with one hand to reach over for the handle.
Marcus, I have a very basic question.
Yep.
What does the Hoffman do joining a frame? What is it doing with the motor? What's the basic concept of a Hoffman Dovetail machine?
Let me get over here. I've got some. You see this?
Yep.
This is basically a half dovetail or a dovetail keyway that we are routing into the miter face.
Mm-hmm.
And we do this on both sides, and then we use the keys. You see here?
Yep.
And they're then inserted, and they're made in a way that they actually pull the joint together when you hammer them in.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't just fall in. You have to tap them in, and the further you tap them in, the more they pull that joint tight.
Mm-hmm. And for those who haven't been to any of the shows, so Marcus and Gary have their booth, and they join a frame in front of you, and they say, "Here, pull it out." And with that glue, immediately it's difficult to take out. And I've tried it. It's pretty tight joint.
And we'll actually do a quick frame here for you, Mo.
Yep.
All you do is you take your frame material that's already mitered.
Yep.
And you put it in and adjust on there where you want to put your keyway. And you lock that plate down. And that gives you a mirror image for both sides.
Mm-hmm.
And then you select the key you're going to use. In this case, we're going to use just the standard W2 5/8 key. And I'm going to put it up here. And this sets the depth of how deep you're going to route into the material. And when you lock this down, that's your entire setup for that process. So then you come in here. Now the motor's going to come on, so it's going to get loud for you guys for a minute, but you'll see what we're doing. And are you seeing the keyway, Mo?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Now I'm going to set this down, and you see how it gives you the dovetail slot.
Yep.
Now I'm going to take the key, the rounded end inside down, just get it started with your finger, and then just a couple taps with a hammer. And you're not having to beat on it, so you don't have to worry about hurting your frame, but you see the result.
So I have a related question to this procedure. Is glue necessary doing at the dovetail or is not?
Yes, we always recommend just a little bit of glue, whatever the assembler's using. You don't have to purchase any kind of special glue. But what it is, the dovetail key is a mechanical fastener. So it draws that joint together holds it under compression just like a clamp would, and lets that glue set up, and then you got the best of both worlds.
I see. Thank you.
Now,
All right, so
another thing while I'm at this,
go ahead,
Mo.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say another thing while I'm at this machine. One of the questions we get asked a lot is the digital feature. People ask, is it worth the money? Is it something I should have? And we tell people yes, especially what you guys are doing, because you're getting repeatability. So if someone comes in, if you watch the numbers, and I'm just going to move these, we just have it kind of set up to show you.
Mm-hmm.
As I move this fence plate back and forth,
yeah,
it'll move, and we've got it set right now, in this case, for decimals. So if they work in decimals, and what that's doing, that's measuring how far that key is off the tip. So say you have a frame you do a lot, you can come in and write that number down on like a flow chart. Mm-hmm. And whoever comes in to operate that machine, they would come in and set that fence plate to 1.737, and they're going to make the exact same keyway that a guy a year ago did. And now we have the same thing with the depth of the key. Now we set this one up in fractional to show you we can work in fractions. So say we used a 3/4 inch key in there. You come back in, you've got the 3/4 inch, now it's set. So if you had a damaged frame, or if a customer reordered a frame, you can come in and go to the exact same key location, the exact same key depth as one you did, like I say, a year ago. And they shut off.
I want to upgrade my machine.
We're ready.
You know what I've done? I tape the base of my machine where the little slide goes, the triangular shape.
Yep. The fence plate.
I put tape from where the yellow tape is to the end where I stand, and then I marked them in a pencil.
Yep. So we've got a slight upgrade for you, Mo.
Yeah.
we can improve upon that. What I wanted to just say real quick is the lower display here
basically show you the distance from the tip of the miter to the center of the keyway.
I see.
That's the setting.
I see.
Because you always place the outside edge of your molding against the plate. So this is where we start to measure from. That's our reference point here. Yeah.
All right, and then another one we get questions of is changing the bits. The bit change is really simple. When people look at it originally, they do get have questions about setting the bit. We've got a setup jig that we sell, and no matter what model of machine you have, if you've got an old MU2, MU3, anything you've got, this makes it very simple to do. Are you seeing that good, Mo?
Very good.
Okay, and what that does, I'm going to shut this motor off and just put this on here for a second. And again, I just shut the motor off, so I'm going to set it up above and show you guys.
Mm-hmm.
All you do with the MU3 series, the new versions, I'm going to zero this out. So I just set it on the top of the table.
Yeah.
Zero it out. And then this is going to give you the projection of the bit, or how far the bit is coming out of the motor. So now with the dial indicator, and again, there's very good detailed videos on this. We're just touching the surface. Yeah. You can adjust that motor by dialing that in, and that'll push that bit out or pull it back accordingly. And that's with this lever. You loosen the lever, and then you've got the dial indicator right here.
Yeah.
So we've got a detailed video on it. A bit change should take you 15 minutes, give or take. And you'll get faster at that. And I'm looking at my notes here, Mo, just to see another.
I got a couple of questions for you. Can I ask?
You go right ahead.
All right. So I built a table for mine, and I put casters on it. Yes. Is that what you recommend, or is there something built in that comes ready? Well,
a lot of people do put these on a table with wheels or a cart. we get questions about the cart a lot. You can look at like Uline and places like that, and Amazon, buy a cart. Usually, you have a nice flat top, and then underneath it actually works well as storage, because then you can go in and put a little vacuum under there, or even if you don't have a lot of other pneumatic tools, if you have a compressor, you can set them right in there, move it around as needed. When you're not needing it, you can obviously just move it right out of your way. Pretty simple. And when we talk about the vacuum, that leads me into one other thing, Mo, is that the tool triggered plug that I get a lot of questions about from you guys.
Yeah.
If you look on here, we've got it. This plugs into the wall. You can plug your Hoffman machine or any other tool you want to plug in into this outlet. Plug your shop vac into that outlet, and it will automatically, when you pull the handle down of the Hoffman machine or step on the pedal and the motor turns on, it'll turn your vacuum on automatically. It'll stay on for 8 to 10 seconds after you let off on the or shut the machine off. It'll stay on to make sure everything's cleared out. A couple nice things about that is it'll take a basic vacuum and make it a really good companion to these machines. And also, it'll keep you from ever forgetting. I know a lot of frame shops, you guys try to keep the dust to a minimum. And sometimes you may go to turn a machine on and forget to turn your dust collector on. That takes that away, because with it plugged in, as soon as there's power goes to that motor, the vacuum is on. So nobody will forget and make a route and blow dust all over the place.
Gary, do you sell this, or I got to buy this from Amazon?
I would look at Amazon. We don't sell them. Marcus and I buy them from Amazon. We'll use them at a show or something, but we don't sell them. Like, you're not going to find those on our website.
Hey,
there's different brands, different.
Show it on Amazon.
That'd be great if you could do that, Mo. That'd be great.
Hold on, let me share screen.
Like I say, they make all different models and sizes and things, so that's up to the final user.
All right, so I got one here, and this connects actually. Oh, this is good. This connects to 2 machines.
Yeah.
Vacuum, so you can hook up 2 machines and a vacuum, so you can round your your router and maybe your sander.
Yeah.
And do that. Okay.
All right, people hook a chop saw or something up to it.
Yeah. All right. I'll put a link to that afterwards.
Perfect.
Right. Now, what else we have here? Okay, so with the supply chain problems, do you have these in stock?
We do. Fortunately, we have X20s, MU2, I'm sorry, X20, MU3, MU3P. So the MU3 series we have, and I think we have a couple of small entry-level X20s.
All right, so these are available in stock. You see here. And how about the keys? So if I bought the machine, are the keys in stock?
Keys are in stock, fortunately. We've got give or take 5 million keys outside the doors we're in right now. So I think we've got you covered.
Now, there was some people were asking in Australia and the UK if they can take advantage of the sale that you're having. Can you ship to those places?
I'm going to let Marcus kick in on this one, because he deals more with the international customers. I work around here, so I'm going to let Marcus.
I'm going to mute you. I'm going to put Marcus on.
Sir.
Otherwise, I'm going to get an echo. Hold on.
Perfect.
All right, Marcus, you're on. Go ahead.
Okay. Yes, so Australia, New Zealand, we ship direct from here. We support our customers down there. We have quite a number of them that buy keys, and we also ship machines. We always check the best freight rates. It changes daily, as you can imagine, with the supply chain situations. We actually found the last couple of machines we shipped from our factory in Germany that ended up to be less expensive than trucking it from North Carolina to Long Beach, California, and then putting it on a boat. So we'll work to find the best way to get the machines down there. Customers in the EU, or formerly EU, I guess, or friends in the UK, there's a Hoffman UK office in England with staff and machines and keys and support. So sales over in the UK, Ireland, and so on will be handled from either Hoffman UK or Hoffman Germany, and their pricing and specs will be a little bit different from ours. So to answer the question, the sales and the pricing that we have on our website are for customers in US, Canada, Mexico, Australia, and New Zealand.
I see. Okay. All right. So A couple of questions here I have is, so can you stack Hoffmans like you stack V-nails?
We sure can. I'm gonna mark it here.
Go ahead.
You can. We route the entire way just like you normally would to put a normal Hoffman key in. If you're going to stack them, we always want one key to go as close to the face as possible.
Okay.
That's going to give you that face hold. Then if you leave a void in the center, you're okay. And then you can come back in and cap it with another short key. We always recommend for the best joint to go with a long key that matches, but I understand sometimes things happen and you may have forgotten to order some and you can make this do. We recommend full keys, but yes, sir, you can stack them.
So, Gary, if the key is too long for my use, and it's the only one I've got, how do I trim the key?
We've got people that'll just saw them off at a length that they need or trim them off. If you're using like the W0 or W1, just a plier, sometimes you can clip them. I mean, it's not hard to do those, but yeah, we always recommend, like say, the key that fits. But again, life happens sometimes.
So what's the difference between a standard bit and an oversized bit?
Okay. Standard bits, we tell everybody, always want to try to use a standard bit when possible. I'm going to go back to the same, if a standard bit were too large for this, and if you look on the way this is, you don't have a lot of room to move there. We always recommend try it with a standard size bit. In this case, it'd be a standard W1. If the joint were to give you any bulging or anything when you go to put one key in, that is the only time we recommend going to an oversized bit. It's good to have an oversized bit in your toolbox, but make it a last resort to make that good, because when you put that key in to get the perfect joint, the perfect strength, they spent some engineering time to figure out that key is perfect for that keyway and that bit.
Gary, how much bigger is the oversized versus the standard in dimension?
I honestly, a fraction of a fraction.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. Right, a hair, right?
Yeah, ever so slightly.
Yeah.
Because all it does is take some of the shoulder pressure off. When you put the key in, it takes a little bit more of the material out, just so that key goes in a little bit easier. That's why you may see that the joint is a little bit looser. Nothing to panic about, but it is going to be a little bit looser than a standard bit and standard size.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if framers going to like having a looser joint. They probably should go with the standard.
Yeah, we always recommend the standard. The loose, when I say looser, again, it's not going to be like the joint's going to fall apart on you.
Yeah,
it's just easier to drive the key in, and on some of those different, you'll see it more in the natural woods, like if you get a little bulging or something on there, and you don't want that, obviously.
Yeah. Hey, Gary, I got another question. When you join the frame, we were talking today, we have a glass table in the front of the shop, and we take that in the front and we join it on the glass. You recommend a hard surface, right? Is glass the best surface, or is there something better?
Well, what we find is just, and we put a lot of these machines in shops, if you can get a nice clean piece of MDF, maybe 12 by 12, put it in each corner when you're assembling it, then the MDF gives you a nice flat hard surface but won't mar your frame usually. Again, you guys work with those different finishes and things, so we always say test it. You may need to put a little piece of mat board behind it just to be sure, but yeah, you want a flat, nice, hard surface. If you try to do it on something that's got a cardboard top on it or a foam core, that can throw you a curve sometimes.
Right. So last question I have for you is about service. I had my machine for 7 years, 8 years, and the only thing I had to change was really I broke the little cylinder where the air goes through, and you sent it to me.
Yep.
What other service options are there? Like what would somebody need servicing for their machine besides breaking stuff like I did?
Well, a lot of times Marcus and I are here, like I say, we've been here together over 40 years if you put our numbers together. We're a phone call away. I do have people sometimes that can't figure something out, and I don't want anybody to ever be embarrassed about a call. Sometimes they're very apologetic, and we don't mind helping out. We can do a video call, and a lot of times if someone puts a phone in front of a machine, Marcus and I can tell by listening or looking at it and go, yeah, you may need this or adjust this. And fortunately, we try to keep every nut, bolt, washer, screw for machines, even the older ones like you have. Again, we're a small company and we try to stand behind everything, and we appreciate you guys. So we try to support you in every way we can. We keep motors, we keep router bits, limit switches. I'm just looking at a machine while we're talking. Even like knurled knobs and things like that. Usually we've got a bin and a part number, and we can get something replaced right away.
All right. So now the other question I have is, you said you have end of year sale. Who's going to take this one, yourself or Marcus? Because
I'm going to bounce that back to Marcus.
Right? Hold on, I'm going to mute you and put Marcus on. Hang on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead, Marcus.
All right. Well, I gotta hold the camera and look at my cheat sheet. But basically, what we have done is we have a end of the year sale for our benchtop dovetail routing machines from the X18, X20, and then the MU3, MU3D, MU3P, the pneumatic, and the PD, which is the pneumatic with the digital displays. We just sold out today of the X18s, but we have all the others in stock, and the sale is actually pretty good. Usually at trade shows, in the past, we used to do a 5% discount. Here you're looking at closer to 10%. We also worked out a special flat rate for shipping. These machines all ship by truck. We don't ship them UPS because they have a habit of breaking things no matter how well we package it. So they come in a box. The box is strapped to a pallet, and then it's moved with a pallet jack. And, again, shipping cross country is getting pretty expensive, but we have flat rates of $225, get a machine to your door anywhere in the US. We also right now have a sale on a couple of MORSO machines. We have a little hand-operated benchtop. It's a MORSO BA. It's a small miter chopper for fillets, for applied molding, for small frames. And I have one of those, and I've had it for a while. So we put that on sale. We also have two MORSO F Deluxe machines, which are the standard manually foot-operated miter choppers with the deluxe color-coded scale. And we have one of the MORSO F Plus 10 Deluxe. And the F Plus 10 is basically the same machine as the F, but it's 10 centimeters or 4 inches taller. And what they did is they didn't just put 4-inch blocks underneath it, but they actually redesigned the base frame and all the mechanic going to the foot pedal. So the foot pedal is at the correct height, is at the same height as on an F model, but the tabletop is now 4 inches higher. And anybody over 5'7", 5'8" would probably benefit from having a machine a little bit higher, especially if you do more than just a couple of frames.
So we have, right, Marcus?
Pardon?
Somebody tall like yourself would need that plus.
Yeah. I will probably still put some blocks underneath it, but so we have one of those, and we also put that on sale with a flat rate shipping. If you go to our website, I've put it right on the front on the carousel. You can click straight through it, and we're going to run that sale to the end of the year or until the machines are gone. So once they're gone, we'll take them off, and that's it.
Thanks, Marcus. I have your website right underneath in the ticker, Hoffman-USA.com. I have a question from Jennifer. This is probably a Gary question. Can you show some optional accessories for the machines?
Yes. One of the first ones that we've had a lot of luck with, and I'll show you why, is if you get into frames like anything really over, say, 36 or 48 inches, where you're getting into a larger frame, our standard top, it works well, but again, you've got to hold it. But if I let go of that frame, you see how it tips off? So this is one of the most common accessories that we sell. And you'll see the difference. When I go to put this on this table, with the table extensions, everything sets nice like it should. And again, you want everything tight, accurate, held. And this is just one of those things that is a great accessory. That is probably our #1 accessory sold to picture framers. But a close second is the tall center fins. Where this comes in is when you're doing when you get in and you're doing a tall shadow box or float frame, you can see how that sets next to it.
Yep.
And that goes right up against it nice and tight. The standard fence is good for anything, say 1.5 inches or lower. But if you get in here and you're doing it, I'm just going to switch this one out so you can actually see exactly what it's doing and how it's going to work.
Gary, do you have an arm extension for the MU2?
Yes, we do.
Oh, height extension.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, so see, now it's on the machine, same falls into the same guideway. Now I'm taking that material and you see how it rests nice up against the fence. So the operator can then just hold the part, step on the pedal.
Yeah.
It'll keep it from tipping in or out and giving you a bad face. Then the next probably 3 kind of fall in together here are, well, I'll have you swing back over here, Mark. You've got tall inside corner fences. You can get those with or without height extensions. That is if you're putting two keys and you can have your center fence. Then you put these on the outside and move your part when you're doing a wider frame and move your part.
I see.
Then we've got different options of angles. Like this is going to be a 22.5 degree angle for doing frames with a 22.5 degree. You can, if you do a lot of those, you can get this fixed. Or if you have some folks that are doing all different angles, this is a synchro fence that moves and will go to whatever angle you need it to, and then lock it down, and that gives you a fixed angle. But it can be any angle you throw at it.
And then when you route it, you have to use the same keys, right? The same keys work here?
Same keys, yes, sir.
I see.
Yep. So if you get in and do a triangle display case or a flag box is a little different because you have a 67.5 degree angle.
Yeah.
And then 45. But this allows you to get in and do triangle cases, octagon frames for like China display cases and things like that.
I see. All right. Do you have any last words?
That kind of takes care of everything we've got. And like I say, we didn't know if you guys have any other questions, we'd be glad to answer them. If you guys want to shoot me a Facebook message or email or anything, we can address any questions you've got.
Gary, what's your email? I don't have your email here.
Okay, it's G Kaufmann, so GKAU, F like Frank, MANN at Hoffman-USA.com.
Okay, and I have the website and the phone. I have the 866 number, 248-0100.
Yep, that's perfect. And
okay.
Like I say, a lot of folks will reach out on your page, Mo. You guys have got quite a following there, so you tag me in that, and that dings on my phone, and I try to address those right away. Sometimes I don't see them or hear them if I'm putting in a bigger machine somewhere, but I always try to check it and get right back to you guys if you have any questions.
All right, that sounds good. Anything else to add, Gary, Marcus?
No, I really just want to thank you guys for all your business and friendship, and we appreciate it. And like I say, we look forward to hopefully everybody has a happy and healthy new year, and everybody's busy, and we look forward to hearing from you, and hopefully somebody will do a show so we can see each other again face to face instead of these videos.
Oh, Gary,
I miss hugging people's necks. So.
I wanted to show how I use your machine. Hold on, I want to show you this.
Yeah, great.
Hold on here. So I make these, with the spline corners, and I use the Hoffman on it because it's great. When I cut my slot, it's plastic, so I can run this right on my table saw. I just slide it right there, and then it just cuts the plastic, and it's
perfect.
It's a quick joint, and then I come in, I cut my slot, put in my spline, and then get that in. I think it's great. So you guys have a perfect product for this use, and I appreciate you guys doing that. Yep.
Well, Mo, again, thank you for all the time you put into this site too. I know it's got to keep you busy, buddy.
Yeah. All right, sounds good. Hey, I wish you guys Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.